Hey, this is Mike with 5-Minute Guide. This video is going to show you how to combine the rank function and the Vlookup function to display data based on an ascending or descending order. Now the question, of course, is why would you want to do that? Excel already has a rank function. You can just simply sort data based on ascending or descending order. Let me show you the situation I often find myself in, and that might explain why you would want to do that. Every day I get information emailed to me. It's got more metrics than just what you see here, just the gross and returns. But it's just basically a big table. It's got a salesperson name, it's got the gross profit, returns, yada, yada, yada. It goes on. So I would just copy that information and paste it into this workbook. Alternatively, I could try to sort it, but I want to sort for each metric. So I want to be able to see, as you can see on my display page, the top grossing salesperson and the salesperson with the fewest returns. I want to see those people at the top. I want to have that information readily available. And there are more metrics there that I want ranked as well. So what I do is I paste the information in, and then I want it to rank it so that I can look it up over here, have a nice page that I can print out and display that has everybody ranked and doesn't take me a half an hour to put together. So I'll show you how to put the sheet together so that you can paste the information in and the sheet will do the rest of the work for you. So every day, here we go, they send me the information, it's pasted in there. So the first thing we need to do is set up named ranges. That's just going to make our Vlookup work a lot easier. In order to do that, highlight the areas that you want to work with. The first area we're going to work with is the return rank, and that's going to go all the way over to the returns. So we want to highlight this entire section. This is going to be our Vlookup table for the returns. The reason that we need to have the return rank all the way on the left-hand side of the table is because Vlookup always looks up its reference on the leftmost column of whatever data set you give it. So for this data set or table or array or whatever you want to call it, return rank needs to be all the way on the left, or whatever you're looking at needs to be all the way on the left for your reference. And then we need to take note that the name is the second column in the return rank table, and the returns is going to be the fourth column. So return rank is 1, name is 2, gross is 3, but that doesn't matter to us, and returns is 4. So that's all going to be important when we do our Vlookup. So we'll call this returns and hit enter. Now this group of cells is called returns. We'll do the same thing for gross rank. Gross rank will be all the way on the left, and we only need to highlight as far over as the gross profit here. And we'll call this section gross. Now that we've set up those named ranges, we can begin to create our rank formula. So we'll use equals, rank, open parentheses. Now the first thing Excel wants to know about when you use a rank formula is the number you're looking at. In this specific instance, we are looking at the same row and the number under returns. So it doesn't have to be in the same row. You can look at any number you want with this, but in this situation, we're going to keep everything nice in neat little rows. That way it makes our Vlookup life a lot easier. So you hit comma. The next section that it wants to know about is your reference. That's the entire group of cells that you want to compare for your ranking. So you'll highlight all of the cells that you want in your comparison. And after that, if you want to do descending order, so the highest would be ranked 1, the second highest would be ranked 2, and so on, you can just close parentheses and you're done. Or you can put a comma and put 0, and that will also do descending order. However, if you need it to be in ascending order, which in this case we do because we want the lowest amount of returns to be ranked as number 1 because we don't want a lot of returns from our salespeople, you need to put a 1. That tells Excel, rank this in ascending order rather than descending. So we'll put the 1, close our parentheses, and we're good to go. Now, if you're going to copy and paste this formula, it's best to put the cash symbol in front of the column and row reference in your range lookup. So the part where you're telling it, okay, look at all of these cells, put the cash sign in there. And so that way when you're copying and pasting it, Excel knows those numbers need to stay exactly the same. They are not relative. So we'll do the same thing for gross rank, except this one is going to be in descending order, and that's because we want the highest gross profit to show as salesman number 1. So we'll go ahead and select the number that we're looking at. We'll put the comma. I'm going to include the cash sign right away. We're looking at E6 through E9. Now, like I said before, you can put a comma and then put 0, and that will tell Excel that you want it to be in descending order. Or you can just close your parentheses, and Excel will recognize that it needs to be in descending order. So our rank system is all set up. You can see that now Bob is associated with number 4 on the return rank and number 1 on the gross rank. So we'll flip over to our display, and I'll show you how the Vlookup will help us figure this out. We'll enter Vlookup, open parentheses. The first thing that we want to appear in our gross profit column is salesman number 1. So we'll tell it to look up the number 1. Where it should be looking is the table that we called gross, and it needs to be looking at column number, let's see, gross rank is 1, return rank is 2, name is 3. We're looking for name, so we need it to look in column 3. So column 3, and now we can tell Excel false. We do not want you to do a range lookup. We want you to do an exact match. So if you don't find number 1 on there anywhere, return an error is what we're basically telling Excel. So we see that Bob is in place number 1, and then we'll do the same thing for the gross profit. Vlookup, open parentheses, lookup value number 1, table array, gross, and then the column index number. Gross is 1, return is 2, name is 3, gross is 4. So we'll look at, so we'll tell Excel to look at column 4 this time, and again we want it to be an exact match. So you can see that our salespeople are sorted based on who has got the highest amount of gross profit. And if I flip over into my data, let's say Yoda has a great day and he hits 6,000. Now Yoda's at the top of our list, and I didn't have to change any sort function over here. So as I paste that information in, this list's just sort it, and it's good to go. Now we'll do the same thing for the returns. Equals Vlookup, open parentheses, lookup value 1 because we want the first ranking employee here. And this time we're going to look at the returns table. And the name is going to be in the returns table. Remember, our returns table starts at the return rank. It doesn't start at gross profit all the way at the left of our table visually. It starts here at the return rank. So this is column 1, and column 2 is our name. 3 is gross profit, but we don't care about that, we said, and 4 is our return. So we need 2 and 4. So we'll enter column 2 to look for the name, and again, we'll tell Excel it needs to be an exact match. And then again, you would do the same thing for the returns, just like you did for gross. So now that that's finished, we have a sheet that will not only sort the information according to who has the most gross profit or who has the least amount of returns, but it actually separates the metrics from the sheet that I get emailed every morning. That way I can see very clearly who my leaders are in each category, which is very useful information to have. And obviously, you're probably already thinking up ways that you could use this for your particular applications. So if you found this useful, please go ahead and tweet about it or share it on Facebook. That helps us out a lot. And if you've got any questions about this, or if you have any requests for a video you'd like us to make, go ahead and leave a comment, and we'd love to help you out with that.